welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video, we are going to be doing another X-Wing How to Fly. In this series, I basically tell you guys and teach you guys how to fly certain ships. With that said, that's what it's supposed to be. Really, I tend to just tell you my strategies, how I choose to fly these ships. And you can basically take the way I choose to fly them, take my strategies, and apply them to your own game. With that said, everyone has their own way of playing this game. Everyone has their own strategies. The way I choose to look at these ships might help you come up with your own strategies for the game. But nothing I say in this video is a has to be this way. It's more or less the way I do it, and the way I do it might help you. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about X-Wing How to Fly. Which ship are we going to be flying in today's video? And today I have magically changed clothes. Oh well, in today's video we are going to be discussing the U-Wing, the most supportive ship in the game. We are going to be talking about that in a second. So, let's real quick go over its quick builds. And I generally use the quick builds, but I tend to modify them according to certain strategies that I like using. Let's go over its points costs. So, it's kind of funny when it comes to the points cost. A lot of people don't like flying this ship for a whole number of reasons. But one main reason they don't like using this ship is actually because it doesn't have missiles or torpedoes or any of those heavy hitter cards. It doesn't really have the ability to hold any of that. And really, it's because you never knew how to truly use the ship according to what it's supposed to be used as. It's not a heavy hitter ship. This ship is a supportive role. It plays the supportive role in the game. That's what this ship is really supposed to be used for. And it needs to be used in conjunction with a heavy hitter ship. It's supposed to help them out, and we're going to be talking more about that in a second. But with that said, if you're going to use this ship, use it in the supportive role with your strategy. That's the best strategy you could use for this ship. Without further ado, let's go over its stats, shall we? So here is, it has 3 attacks, 2 evades, 5 hull, and 3 shields. A total of 8 lives. So it has 3 attacks. Again, this is not necessarily a ship that you want to fly in the midst of combat, because it doesn't have any missiles or torpedoes or really any heavy hitter cards. But what it does have is it does have 3 attacks. It can at least defend itself. However, when it comes to the supportive ships, the best thing you could do for them is to fly them in the background. Fly them behind your heavy hitter attacks. Keep them within range so they can, of course, support them. And maybe if you have an extra shot, take it. But with that said, you don't want to put this ship in the midst of combat and possibly lose this ship, considering it doesn't have any heavy hitters, and its best role is being the supportive ship. Now, it does have 8 lives, so it's not like it's going to die instantaneously like a TIE fighter or something like that, but it definitely serves the support role, and we're going to discuss that in a minute. Now, interestingly enough, it does have 2 evades. Let me show that up again. Put that up again. It does have 2 evades, which is interesting because this is actually a medium ship. And being a medium ship actually throws in a whole slew of just different type of complications and challenges. But it's actually a really handy ship if you can learn how to use it correctly. Being a medium ship, it is a little bit of a problem though, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's go over the rest of its stats real quick. It has a focus token, a targeting computer, and the most important supportive ability on this ship is the coordinate action. What does the coordinate action do? It is this little red 3 triangles here, and yes, it is a red maneuver, which means it's a stress token. For the cost of a stress token, which considering this ship is usually going to be in the back of your crew, it's not going to be the ship that's going to go straight on and attack somebody else. It's okay being a stress token. The coordinate action, what it does is it gives you the ability to coordinate your other ships. Basically, it gives the other ships the ability to do another action. You get to give your action to another ship. So, for instance, let's say you're flying an X-Wing, and the X-Wing targeted a TIE Fighter or a TIE Bomber. Let's go TIE Bomber. The X-Wing targeted a TIE Bomber, so he's going to throw torpedoes at the TIE Bomber. But he doesn't have a focus token. He doesn't get the ability to do 2 actions. He gets to do the ability with 1 action. So that means if you want a focused torpedo shot, you have to wait till next turn. Not anymore. For the cost of a stress token on this ship, the ship that's not even supposed to be in the midst of battle, he can give a focus token to his friendly X-Wing. That's right. Your X-Wing now has a focus token because it's being coordinated, it's being commanded by this ship. It's basically this ship is giving the commands to your friendly ships. That's actually really, really handy. Now, briefly, let's go over some of the other cards I like using with it. First off, again, it has a red coordinate. So the most important card you want to put on a red coordinate ship like this is Tactical Officer, making that red coordinate into a white coordinate. Very important. Let's briefly go over another card that I like. I really like Jyn Erso on this one as well. So, if a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 would gain a focus token, it may gain 1 evade token instead, which is handy. If you have a ship that has, I don't know, only focused abilities, maybe a couple targeting appears, but doesn't have an evade, what this card actually does, what Jyn Erso does here, is it gives that ship the ability to evade. And that's actually pretty darn handy. Another couple of cards that I really like, Trick Shot can be used on just about any ship. And it's really handy because, of course, if there is an obstacle in your way, you get to roll 1 extra attack dice, which is great because generally your opponent, if there is an obstacle in the way, gets to throw an extra evade dice, or at least you get an extra attack dice out of there. Hopefully that will help you out. Okay, and my favorite pilot is actually Cassian Andor for this one. You got, at the start of the activation phase, you may choose 1 friendly ship at range 1 to 3. If you do, that ship removes 1 stress token. So that's really handy. If for some reason in the midst of battle you did an attack or an ability or a stress maneuver, you can basically use this ship, use his ability to undo that. That is again another reason why this is such a supportive role ship. So it also, of course, has a bunch of other pilots. Let's go over that. You actually have Blue Squadron Escorts and Saw Gerrera and a whole bunch of pretty cool pilots. Here they are. With that said, let's go and look at the ship, shall we? Here are the pictures of the two ships I have. Both of these are 1.0. We got the white one, and the black one is from Saw Gerrera's Renegade. Don't they look great? And what's really cool is the wings actually do move. Okay, so before I end this video, let's actually go ahead and take a look and see why flying a medium ship like this one can be such a challenge. Alright, so let's go ahead and show you guys what I mean. The big problem with the medium ship, really one of its biggest weaknesses with all medium ships, is the fact that the base, if you look, the small ships are like 1 speed, the medium ships are 1.5 speed. This makes it very difficult to fly these ships in certain formation. In fact, I have found in my use of this ship, my use in all medium ships, is to fly them at least 1 speed behind your lead ships, or if you're in front, fly them 1 speed above the lead ships. That way you don't end up crashing into your friendly ships. And you know, this can be also a huge problem, because this of course means your enemy can of course use that to their advantage as well. But as long as you keep the friendly ships within range 3 of the medium base ship, you should be fine. And that's kind of the rule of thumb that I have found flying these medium ships. So yeah, it could be a challenge flying a ship like that, but a challenge is actually quite fun. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.